and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? What is going on, man? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for January 6th, man, 2023. It is Friday, and I'm owning it, and I got the late shift, man. I got the late shift. So those of you know I've been sick. My son gave it to me, and we got my wife sick, so now she's sick. So I got up, and I had to run and drive all around the world for a specific medication for her. So that's why I couldn't get on at our regular time, 2-ish, 3-ish, somewhere around there. I had to get on because this is it, man. This is all we have until the Lions take on the Green Bay Packers tomorrow. We've got 2 games, 4:30 and 8:15, and then we got 3 games on Sunday, with game number 272 being our Detroit Lions. We got some stuff to talk about today. So the name of that song is called Detroiters Theme. It is from a show from Comedy Central. It's the theme song from, I think it ran in 2015 and 19, somewhere around there. It is by a group called Distinct Life. I first came across it for the Detroit Rams, and I've been loving it ever since. I mean, when I first heard it, I immediately searched for it. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on YouTube. You can find the actual video on YouTube as well. So even though they copyright claim it, it's all good. I don't make any money from these streams. Anyway, my income comes from the videos, dog. Now listen, I got to say this, and I'm going to say this before we get this thing going. When you have the video that I made about Aaron Glenn and the one-man rush, quote unquote, has over 330,000 views at the moment. Shout out to Mr. Poole. Jim, dropping gems, man. And when you have a quote unquote viral video, you see the dark side of the internet. And people, the biggest complaint that I have, it's 2, that I repeat myself a whole lot and that I'm not showing the play. And I'm telling you, you meet the dumbest people online. Like, the deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the dumber the people become. So that is the update on that. Yes, Mr. Poole, I did. I saw the whole, we're going through all of that. That was actually going to be my first segment. Thanks to you, my friend. You make sure I am up to date on all of this stuff, and I don't have to go looking too far forward. So I appreciate that tremendously. We're going to talk about that. What's up, Paul? What's up, Life? What's up, Fresh? What's up, Vash? What is going on, y'all? So listen, had to get on. My wife is set. She's got her medication, and she's good. Ain't nothing too much I can do for her except make her some soup. So she is good. What's up, Gaddy? What's going on, man? So, and apparently on YouTube, people can't take a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't take a joke. And what I realize about the internet is we all have the patience of a gnat. We all have the attention span of, I swear, a cluster of gnats, man. Everybody's like, get to the point. It took you 2 minutes. You made a 6-minute video for this. Very upset, but it's all good because they watching them ads. They watching them ads, and that's what's up. John, what's up, man? Says, get the officiating refs' names, call it a fair game. If not, hunt them down. We have those, and Cleat will not be, his crew is not on board. So I hope everybody is having a fantastic day, had a fantastic week. I know it's been a long week for y'all anticipating this game. We got Flex Monday, then the tragedy with Damar Hamlin, and shout out to Damar Hamlin. I hear that he's talking now, so that's fantastic. So they said best case scenario, he is how he was before the game, meaning when he returns to full health. So I'm excited about that. That has lifted my spirits up. That has lifted, I'm sure, the entire NFL community. And, man, what a fantastic time. Now, I do got a bit of sad news. I got a bit of sad news, but in the grand scheme of life, it doesn't matter. My fantasy matchup was Monday. The last day was Monday. And we had, ironically, a 17-week season. I know some of you ended in week 16. I believe some of you even ended in week 15. But our championship was Monday night. My opponent, I was up by 23 points. My opponent had Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon. I looked at the fantasy because I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot about fantasy. Once I found out the game was canceled, I looked at fantasy. And what I saw yesterday, according to the NFL fantasy app, is that they are going to adjust some points. Here it is. It says final update. This is from 4:15 today. It says week 17 scores and matchup results have been updated to reflect the cancellation of the Bills-Bengals game. This may have resulted in changes to week 17 winners as well as matchups for week 18. We remind the league managers that you can use custom tools to adjust results as your league deems appropriate. So my opponent, he lost by 28, and I put before the league that we vote on co-champions. I just don't feel right winning the Super Bowl like this. It just feels dirty to me. So he has given me permission, like conceded defeat, and I don't like that. So I would much rather have co-champions because it would just make me feel better. Because I feel like I had a good chance to lose that. And if he had like a kicker or like the defense, then I would feel a lot better winning the game. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's only one time I saw a defense with 40 points or something crazy like that. So I won by default. It feels disgusting. It doesn't feel right. Took all the excitement away. But the grand scheme of life is this is not important. So we're going to vote on co. I think we should both get trophies. And that's just how I feel. So anyway, we got a show for you today. What's up, Lions Media? What is going on, Perry? We are doing well, man. Eating pizza. Happy Friday to all. Okay. So, shout out to Mr. Poole again, man, because I want to talk about this. This guy is a hot mess. Now, I know that Locked On Lions. Locked On Lions it talked about it. Saw that. Now, here's the thing. Before we get to that, Locked On Lions talked about Deshaun Elliott and what he had to say. And I'm telling you, man, your Detroit Lions are going to come out and they're going to be fired up. Aaron Rodgers, one thing about talking so much, if you talk it, you got to be ready to back it up, right? Check this out. And this is unrelated to the Detroit Lions, but it makes me question the sources and the stuff that we hear, okay? This is according to Adam Schefter. Now, remember yesterday, guys, that we were talking about, we got all excited that the NFL, as a matter of fact, we'll make this our first topic because I think this is important to the fan base, and I think the NFL needs to clean this up. All right? So our first segment of the day has to do with the National Football League. We all know what happened with Damar Hamlin and his situation, and it seems as though the reports coming out of Buffalo and just Twitter, the insiders, that he's doing better. he was able to speak today. Those are the reports, and that is tremendously good to hear. But yesterday, some stuff came out. Now, let's go back to Monday night. Monday night, Joe Buck says that the teams have been given a 5-minute period to work out, to warm up and get ready to go to resume the game. Now, at this point, we don't know the severity. We didn't even know DeMar needed CPR at this point. We had no idea. So we found out on Tuesday that was a false statement. So I don't know who's in trouble, Fox, Joe Buck. I have no idea, right? So yesterday, we have it comes out from these NFL insiders that the NFL is considering an eighth team in the playoffs. Now, I saw several people report about it, and I almost made a video about it. Almost did. I was not feeling well, and by that time, the time had passed, right? So everybody's hopes got up. Lions fans start rejoicing because that meant if we win, we were in. We no longer had to worry about what the Seattle Seahawks did. It comes out today that according to Adam Schefter, this is from Adam Schefter yesterday, the NFL never considered an 8th playoff team being added to each conference. So if that was the case, why is that being reported yesterday? Now, as a guy who kind of reports, right? That's what I don't have any direct source to the NFL and to the Detroit Lions. I rely on people who do have, they're either direct sources themselves and they put the information out, or they have a source who's super reliable, right? Like I said, the best I have is a source with a source. And that's been working just fine. But when you put out certain information, you have to be very, very careful. Why is this information got all these fans, not only in the NFC, but in the AFC as well? Because Miami Dolphins fans are on the outside looking in. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're on the outside looking in. Now, it was big, Gaddy. It was huge yesterday. It was huge. It was reported that the NFL, from multiple outlets, that they were considering an 8th playoff team. Now, had I not been feeling well, I would have made a video about it. But coming from Adam Schefter yesterday, it was the NFL never considered an 8th playoff team being added to the conference. Lions Mania, not only is there not an 8th seed, there was never consideration of one. But all day yesterday, that's all we heard. Why is that the case? So, coming off of Joe Buck's, NFL said they have no idea where he got that from. And you remember Joe Burrow was on the sideline warming up. He was warming up because maybe they were told that. I don't know. So I have no idea. But now 2 horrendously incorrect statements in a week. Somebody needs to figure out what's going on. You had Lions fans in a complete uproar, knowing that now all we need to do is win. So it comes out, Vision, that it was passed today. They voted on it at 2:00, and it was passed today that essentially it only really affects 3 teams. And it hasn't, but even with those 3 teams, it had nothing to do with an AC. And according to Schefter, who is an NFL insider, even though he's been wrong at times as well, with pretty big stories, the NFL never considered an 8th playoff team being added to each conference. So if that is the case, why was it reported yesterday that they were? I mean, I even talked about it in yesterday's show, how big that would be. You got all these fan bases in an uproar. You got the Steelers. You got the Dolphins. You got the Lions. You know what I'm saying? We knew we would hear something by today. But why is that the case? And who said that they were given 5 minutes to warm up when it came out Tuesday that was horrendously false? Right? So there was never, ever any consideration, not that they voted against it or anything like that. There was never any consideration that there was going to be an 8th playoff team added to each conference. But yet it was the biggest news outside of DeMar responding and having remarkable recovery. Like, it was the second biggest story of the day, and it wound up being completely false. Completely false. So not only is there not an 8th seed, ladies and gentlemen, there never was any consideration to even have one. So if that answers your question, there is no 8th seed. And again, if you're joining us late, my wife is sick. My ex-wife and her family wanted to come get my kid. And so I was out for like 2 hours looking for this very specific medication that she has to take. She can't just take like any cough medicine and stuff. So I had to go. I went to 1, 2, 3. So I went to one place, went to 2 other places, and then went back to the place that I started at. So how about that? Perry says we need to win anyway. To show the NFL the Lions are for real. Perry, you know what? I think that's my solace from this whole thing, is that while I got excited, when you start breaking it down, you realize that it didn't affect the Lions like it affected the other 2 teams. You know what I'm saying? We still had to win, because even with a loss, the Seahawks still get in. So I actually like it this way. So after all of that, we're back to where we started. So Vision, you can look it up, man, on Twitter. The NFL has put out what the official addendum is and how they're going to go forward with this. Now, in other kind of non-super important news, the NFL, Ford Field is going to, and Ford Field has some of the worst turf of the artificial synthetic turf when it comes to the NFL. They're actually going to get their turf replaced with a surface called Core, C-O-R-E. It's a monofilament field turf. They're going to start that process this month, as there will be no more Lions games. The Lions, the best they could be is a 7th seed, which means they will never get a home game in the NFL playoffs this year. But you guys can look it up and see what it is, because it's a page and a half about what the NFL is going to do. Now, here is this is like, it's a couple points, a couple things I want to talk about. But I think this is probably the most, like, the best. So we're going to do what we usually do and bring some stuff in. Ooh-wee! This is fantastic. This is great, y'all. You know what, man? I love our city. I love our city. I love the guys on our team. I love these guys, man. Where did my chat disappear to? My chat has now disappeared. Oh, why is it over here? Okay, let me pop this thing out again. Mr. Poole says new turf is kind of a big deal. Means the organization is paying attention. Well, you know what else that means, Mr. Poole, is that they're not going to require all of them to have grass. Because that's what I initially thought as well, that they were going to do that. But I'm like, how are you going to have grass on a field like that? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to do that? So that is, you're right, that is a big deal. We know Von Miller, he wind up getting injured. He was the last significant person to get injured like that. But Tracy Walker, he was in Minnesota when his happened. So it is a big deal. I don't know much about this core stuff and how good it is, but I'm sure we'll hear. We even had Amon-Ra St. Brown and his brother. He was talking about it, about the field. He said he said he's young, so it doesn't bother him that much, but he prefers grass as well. So this right here is Let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, it's a couple things I want y'all to see. All right, let me bring this in. Desktop capture. We go here. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. All right. So I am going to bring this stuff in, and we're gonna have a conversation about it. All right. Let me do this. Well. Looks like the Detroit Lions, some of them, most probably all of them, are feeling just like us Detroit Lions fans. Now, I don't I don't use profanity, but I know people do, and I apologize for the profanity in this tweet. But there's nothing I can do. This is live, so I can't edit it out. But this is coming from Kyle Menke from today. We know that Aaron Rodgers, now for those of you who don't know, I call him Big Head Mars Attack. His helmet is the biggest helmet I've ever seen in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes would be a close second. But how fitting it is that he has a big helmet, he has a big head, and as far as his arrogance is concerned. Okay? His arrogance has always been what my issue has been with Aaron Rodgers. Now, in some sense, I can ride with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was invited to the green room in 2005. We all know what happened. They invited him because it was all this, is it him? Is it Alex Smith? Is it him? Is it Alex Smith? Well, Alex Smith went first. Aaron Rodgers had to hear this sound, okay, which, like I said, I ain't mad at him when it comes to that, because being disrespectful or being disrespected is one thing. But Aaron Rodgers had to hear this 24 times before his name was called. And then he finally goes to Green Bay. He has to then sit behind Brett Favre. I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to retire? Oh, no. Am I going to retire? Oh, no. So then he has to do that for 3 years. And then he takes over in 2007-8, somewhere around there, and has been a bane in our side. He's been a bad man. He's been a lot of things. But he also runs his mouth. And this is from Deshaun Elliott, because if you don't know, Aaron Rodgers said back in week 10, you can't lose a game like that to that team, meaning a 1-6 team. Okay? So that was, that's the first of the season. Then he runs his mouth when we were 7-7. Well, one of the teams is 7-7. Okay? So this is coming from our safety, Deshaun Elliott, who is expected to play on Sunday, says about Aaron Rodgers and his Detroit disrespect. You can see it's still getting liked right now. The way he carries himself, I don't like none of that stuff. Now, obviously, I added my own right there. He continues. A-Rod doesn't respect us. That team doesn't respect us. We're going to fight our you-know-what's off, play smash-mouth football just because of the respect factor. Like, we all got here somehow, some way. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, but I just don't respect the way he's been flapping at the mouth. Now, I added my 2 cents in there. Elliott continues, bro, you respect everybody in this league. And for you to see something or hear something, someone say some wild stuff about you or your teammates or your brothers, shoot, what are you going to do? We are going to lay down or we going to stand up. So we're going to go out there and stand up. That's coming from Deshaun Elliott. Now, we've talked about it before, that Aaron Rodgers is a loudmouth, big-headed fool when it comes to this NFL. I understand, bro. You got a chip on your shoulder. And I got plenty of them, so I know all about that. You come out there, and you've been doing your thing. But you got to respect the game. You got to respect these people, these players. You have to do that. You have to be able to do that. And Aaron Rodgers has not respected us his entire career. He didn't respect us when we beat him. Remember, he also said, they didn't beat us, we beat ourselves. Really? So I've been telling y'all for the past 2.5 months that Aaron Rodgers, this team, everybody's so worried, the Lions are going to have nothing to play for. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter if Seattle wins or not, as far as the intensity that you're going to get from your Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell, them guys are hype. We're in prime time. Remember, y'all, now I love this. If you have seen Dan Campbell's press conferences this week, the man has smiled more than I've ever seen him. You can tell he's giddy with excitement. Even though our team doesn't control our own destiny, he's giddy with excitement. The players are going to talk about this. I guarantee you it's bulletin board material probably plastered all over the locker room. All over the locker room. And shout out for Deshaun for keeping it a buck. These guys, they hear this stuff. So Detroit Lions are on prime time. We were the only team out of all the National Football League that didn't have one primetime game. No, Thanksgiving does not count. The only team. So not only did we have to play our way to primetime, nobody is picking the Detroit Lions to win this game. They done all got on I'll keep it family friendly. They've all got on the bandwagon of the Green Bay Packers. Oh man, the Green Bay Packers are back because they won 3 in a row. Well, excuse me. We have been playing better football than them. So you don't think all of that, all of these, you can't count out Aaron Rodgers. And then you have this stuff. The way he carries himself, I don't like none of that stuff. I can guarantee you that this quote right here, he is speaking for the entire Detroit Lions team. And this man only been here for a year. We have been dealing with this stuff for 18 years. From him yapping his mouth. He continues. All of this down here, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. Bro, you respect everybody in this league. Meaning, you're going to keep that stuff to yourself. But see, Aaron Rodgers thinks that he's above everybody else on the football field. And I can promise you this. Whatever happens in Seattle, the Detroit Lions are not going to care. Matter of fact, for Aaron Rodgers' sake, he better hope Seattle wins. Because if they don't win, we really going to come out and body him. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's Friday. I can say it. My preview video coming out today. I think the Lions get this dub. It's time to shut everyone up, especially Big Head Mars Attack. I think the Lions come out and get this dub. We're going to talk about it more later. But let me know what you think, man. Aaron Rodgers been running his mouth, and apparently the Detroit Lions don't like it. So we're going to see just what they do about it in about 48 hours. I love it, bro. I absolutely love it. Love it so much. A-Rod, no, the refs got his back. Not this game, they don't. What's up, Antoine? Mr. Poole says, I think Deshaun gets re-signed so him and Tracy can teach Kirby as well. I think so, too. It's going to be a completely different game. Now, I tell you what, Detroit Lions fans, you need to be proud of your team, bro. You know who in a lot of trouble? Bro. The Miami Dolphins are in a world of trouble. Skylar Thompson is starting for them this week. 7th round rookie Skylar Thompson is starting for the Miami Dolphins in a game that they absolutely must win. Patty says, wouldn't it be funny if the Lions keep Green Bay out the playoffs? That's another thing, too, I forgot to bring up. That no matter what happens, now we get to keep your big head butt out the playoffs. So you think this team going to come out and not give it their all? You must be crazy. It doesn't matter what's happening. And just so you know, if you live in the local area of Detroit and probably in the coverage area, they are going to show you the Seattle Rams game. Happens at 4:25. I checked Comcast yesterday, and it is up. We are going to do on the Gridiron Blitz, we're going to do the Buffalo Bills, the New England Patriots. They are going to be wearing decals, number 3 decals on their it's a patch on their uniforms. They will be wearing those. We have that game at 1 o'clock at 4:25. It's going to feel like my own team is playing. I'm so excited. I can't contain myself. We are going to have that game as well. And then at 8:15, 8:20, the Lions will take the field. with no matter what happens. And again, you guys are pointing out in the chat that last time Aaron Rodgers played them, Houston was on the sideline. That brother was on the practice squad. So he's going to see a team. I don't remember if Kaminsky was back. He's going to see a team. Appreciate that, Mr. Poole. Now, we do have a little bit of a situation. We have a situation, and I don't know if this is good or bad. I don't know how concerned we should be about this. But it's coming out that Jeff Okudah has another injury. He is questionable to play on Sunday. He has an elbow injury. Not sure how it happened or when it happened. But Mike Hughes will probably get the start. I have not looked at the ESPN Gamecast. I'm going to do that live with you guys. As a matter of fact, I should double down and make a video. Go ahead and make my video about it. But that's under another setting. D-Mac says, the new Detroit Lions, 28, the old Green Bay Packers, 17, end of story. Let's trade him for another pick. Michael, he was benched during the game. I don't know what the official diagnosis or game designation is. I am going to check that as we speak. But he did get benched on Sunday. And like I said, guys, the reason I had to get on today, this is it. This is it, man. We either talking about the playoffs on Monday, or we're talking about we're doing a season wrap up. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not ready for this season to end. I'm not ready for this season to end. As a matter of fact, before I get to Jeff Okudah, let's do this. Detroit Lions fans, what a ride it's been. What a ride it's been as we come to the final Spike Kool-Aid, the final show before the season finale, game 272 for your Detroit Lions, as they play to either get in to the postseason or they play to spoil it for the Green Bay Packers. And I just wanted to take a minute because on Monday, I'm going to be either super stoked about a playoff berth or a little disappointed doing a season wrap-up. And before we get there, I want to talk about the season. I just want to reminisce with y'all for a minute about how this season has gone. The good, the bad, the ugly. Today, Friday, June the 6th, Dan Campbell was asked what the turning point was for the team, for the season. We all know what it was. It was after that week 7 or 8 Miami Dolphins loss when we fired Aubrey Pleasant. And I thought about it today. I said, Aubrey Pleasant. But then I had to remember that we played the Green Bay Packers in week 10. And Aubrey was part of the team then. Doesn't look like it mattered much. Maybe this is a revenge game. But what a season it's been. Came out, played against the Philadelphia Eagles. The leading up to that, this is the most excitement I've seen surrounding this team since I've been doing YouTube videos about them. Unreal. We're coming off the 3-3. The way we ended last season, excitement is unreal. We got Hard Knocks, come and gone, right? Season starts, we lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. But we don't get beat down like we did in 2021. We don't get beat down. We lose by 3. And not only did we lose by 3, we put up 35 points. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? What's happening here? We beat the Washington Commanders. Excitement is still through the roof. And then we fell off. We lost 5 in a row. We go to 1-6. Aubrey Pleasant gets fired. We trade TJ Hawkinson to a interdivision rival. And we're all wondering what is happening. What is going on? Hope is lost. We start checking out. Not all of us, some of us. We start checking out. SOL is beating down the doors because we're trying to hold it back. Then what happens? We play those pesky Packers. We get the dub. We rattle off 3 games in a row. We beat the 7-2 New York Giants at the time. Now we're sitting at 4-7. Thanksgiving. We're hosting the Buffalo Bills. Severe underdogs. I want to say it was 9 points. It was something ridiculous. And we took them guys to the wire. Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen embrace in exhaustion because we gave them all they could handle. What do? We rattle off another 3 straight. We get to 7-7. Now we're sitting at 500. We come out, we get humbled against the Carolina Panthers, and we come out and straight smash the Chicago Bears, who I want to point out, for those of you who are in love with that running quarterback, Justin Fields is out. He will not break Lamar Jackson's 2019 quarterback rushing record due to a hip injury from an injury he sustained against the Detroit Lions. Got to learn to stay in the pocket. You got to become strong in the pocket. And here we are. Here we are. Who would have ever thought Halloween, when we lost to the Miami Dolphins, that 9 weeks after that, we would be talking about a winner, a chance to win and get in to the 2022 NFL playoffs. Maybe a few of us. But what a ride it's been. And I can tell you that the excitement for this Detroit Lions team, with the weapons that we are having, with the way that this team is coming along, with the way that Dan Campbell has grown as a coach, that this team will be the most exciting team heading into 2023. We have Matthew Stafford's pick from the LA Rams, who are picking top 10. We have our pick right now sitting in the middle of the pack. And I got to give credit where credit is due. Brad Holmes, it took a while. I was a little hesitant. But he's earned my respect, and most importantly, he's earned my trust. I have to trust that he'll do the right thing, and I trust that he will. And for me, the deciding factor was, well, it was a couple things. One was not taking Kayvon Thibodeau. That's one. 2 was that rookie linebacker / DN, James Houston. And I pointed this out in a previous show. The Jackson State had a show that was on YouTube. It ran for about eight episodes. They were about an hour long. And in one of those episodes, just watched a few weeks ago, the coaching staff, Deion Sanders, and another gentleman on the Jackson State coaching staff. And this is going to tie back to Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson, and what you can expect from your Detroit Lions going forward. They told James Houston that, said, look, man, these linebackers, as a linebacker, you're not going to make this team. Go to DN. He is trying to fight them with everything he has. He's trying to tell Deion Sanders and this other gentleman that he will be a stud linebacker. They said, James, we move you to the lineman. Trust our vision. Trust what we see. He humbled himself. He trusted. Lions took him 6th round. Came out. Didn't play for 12 games. Was on the practice squad. But before that, he didn't even make the initial 53-man roster. And this is how my trust in Brad Holmes has been built over 2 drafts. James Houston is elevated due to injury in week 12. He comes out and destroys Trevor Lawrence. He gets 2 sacks and 5 snaps. He now, in less games than Aiden Hutchinson, has more sacks than Aiden Hutchinson. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Hutch. Hutch is double-teamed, and that D-line, him and Kaminsky, they opened it up for people like James Houston. But your Detroit Lions, no matter what happens on Sunday, will be, in my opinion, the hottest team. The hottest team. And yes, Oak, not to mention Rodrigo, a.k.a. Malcolm Rodriguez. And if you look at this draft, if you do, can't really say that anybody's a bust. You can't. Chase Lucas, he doesn't count. He's a 7th-round pick. I don't want to call the man a throw-in, But we weren't even supposed to have him. We got him when we traded. So we got him. He actually made the team. He made the team. By the way, his 21-day window opened. He's on day 3. Your Detroit Lions, no matter what happens, will we be disappointed? Yeah. Will we be hurt? Yeah. Because we're going to think about that Panther game. We're going to think about that Minnesota game. We're going to think about that Buffalo Bill game. We're going to think about one play, and this team is up there with the Philadelphia Eagles. This team, your Detroit Lions, you can easily wipe 4 losses off their record. They could easily be sitting at 12-4 right now. But that's the growing pains. And I just want to say, man, that I appreciate the Detroit Lions. I appreciate them for giving me something to root for in January. Can y'all understand what I'm saying? We're rooting. Last year this time, we were talking about the draft. The Lions have been in a must-win situation for 10 or 12 weeks, and they've showed up and not disappointed. So whether or not we are having a playoff preview or a season wrap-up on Monday, I want to thank the Detroit Lions for giving this fan super emotional, ready to fire people on Halloween if they didn't get it together next year. I want to thank them, man, for giving me something to root for. The misery of Matt Patricia. I want to thank Dan Campbell for getting rid of the stench of Matt Patricia, for winning more than 7 games, something Matt Patricia has never done. I want to thank this team for not tanking, for not doing what everybody wanted us to do at 1-6. I want to thank this team for that. I want to thank this team for trying to win and give this city something that we don't have. I want to thank this team for showing me what winning feels like, because we need to get used to that. We need to stop talking about tanking. We need to stop talking about losing, and we need to embrace winning and get used to it, because that's what this team wants, and we should want the same thing. All that tanking, I don't want to hear it. This team literally gave you something, took it down to the last game of the year, and the NFL was smart enough to move it to game 272. I don't ever want to hear any Detroit, if you're a real Detroit Lions fan, don't you dare say the word tank. Don't you dare. And you should be ashamed of yourself if you do. Thank you, Detroit Lions, for showing the rest of the league what we are. After we had to watch our former quarterback win a Super Bowl, thank you. No matter what happens on Sunday, I appreciate you. And 2023 is going to be special. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I got all sermon, start preaching all of a sudden, man. The more I'm talking about this, y'all don't understand, man. Y'all understand because y'all Lions fans. You understand. Right now, we're getting no respect from the Green Bay Packers. From none of them. No respect at all. Nobody. Why? Because the past. Aaron Rodgers. I said that his superpower was Lambeau Field. The more he wins, the stronger he gets. The colder it gets, the stronger he gets. Being at home, it is his fortress of solitude. But guess what? We ain't done. We're not done. The Green Bay Packers ain't going to forget about this Detroit Lions team anytime soon. And neither will the NFL. How long we been on? Okay, we got enough time for a segment that I want to talk about. Love my team, man. I love my team. Starting it. All right, now this one makes my heart rejoice. It does. All right. I got a friend of mine. His name is Detroit Lions Forum. And I know no matter what you feel about him, a lot of times people can't, whether you like him or not, you have that right. But he has been defending Jared Goff with stats upon stats and has removed the feelings from the equation. Long time ago, back in 2019, I was part of a group, and that group told me facts over feelings. That you can't have, told me it was no emotion in football. Okay, fine. Let's take the emotion out of football. According to the NFL, Jared Goff is a top 10 quarterback. That's my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback. In the company with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. What do you see out of that? Multiple top 10 picks. Dak Prescott playing very well this year. Tom Old Man Brady. Geno Smith. Probably a little higher than he's supposed to be. And then there's that bad man, sarcasm, Aaron Rodgers. Jared Goff stats over the past couple of months have been tremendous. Tremendous. Salty comes in with the oh Lord. Why? We talked about this before. We've talked about this before. You have no reasoning at all to disagree with this photo. No reasoning. Jared Goff, from the stats just off the top of the head, near 30 touchdowns with 7 interceptions. 2 of those were pick six. A couple of those were to C.J. Hockenson. Some miscommunication. He has not thrown an interception in over 200 plus pass attempts. Why are we? But I know Jared Goff is not the future. Zero argument with that at all. Jared Goff is not mobile. He's more mobile than Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff is not a dual threat. Who cares? Who cares, right? Now, would you say that Justin Fields is a dual threat, or would you say he was a running quarterback? Would you say that Wilson is a dual threat, or is he a running quarterback? What is Jared Goff going to have to do for us to respect his play? Oh, he turns the ball over. Not really. He has 1 turnover that was a fumbled exchange in the freezing cold in the last 7 games. What is Jared Goff going to have to do to get our respect as Detroit Lions fans? And what I've come to learn is that we just don't like the guy. That's it. Can he win on the road? We gonna find out. His record ain't horrendous on the road. His play is not that great. But let me ask you something. Jared Goff has played, haven't had a turnover, except the fumble, right? So that's the argument. 3 wins this year on the road. Okay. How many wins we got? We got 8. So if he doesn't win those 3 games, we have 5 wins. So that's our argument with Jared Goff, is that he can't win on the road. Now I don't have to go into stats because Forum does that for me. If he wins a playoff game, I'll say that's my quarterback. Okay, Salty, this ain't no offense to you, bro, but y'all listen, I see what this is now. The goalpost is never in the same place when it comes to Jared Goff. I've been on the internet talking about Detroit Lions for about 5 years. 5 years. And I swear that Matthew Stafford's name was never, ever, ever brought up like this. That man literally could do no wrong. So if he is so Salty and others that feel like Salty, that says he has to win a playoff game. Now, I'm not like them guys, Adam Bodine. I'm not like them guys at Woodward Sports and other guys that you might know. They ride the hottest trend. That's what they do. I have been supporting Jared Goff since the day he was traded. I don't understand how Russell Wilson is now a trash quarterback after 9 years of excellence. Now he looks like, doesn't he look a lot like Jared Goff did last year? Okay, Salty says, I'm not happy with stats. The goalpost has been a playoff win, period. Okay, I'll let that, okay. That's fine. That's fine. If that has been your goalpost, then who am I to say it wasn't? So when it comes to others, though, Salty, I know that the goalpost keeps moving. It just keeps getting pushed back all the time. It just keeps getting pushed back all the time. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that Matthew Stafford was literally plucked from the worst situation to the best situation. Because let's not forget that Aaron Donald helped him win that Super Bowl. Let's not forget Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson. He had a team, Cam Akers, torn Achilles. He had a team help him win the Super Bowl. Jared Goff had Kadero Hosh. He had Brashard Perriman, who decided he didn't want to catch nothing and didn't even make the team. Khalif Raymond was our leading receiver. DeAndre Swift and a TJ Hawkinson who, did he really want to play here? Why is it all of a sudden that Jared Goff is a top 10 quarterback? If you, Salty says the goalpost has been a playoff win. Well, I hope they can get that to you. Von Miller, thank you, Ashley. How could I forget about him? If that has been Salty's goalpost, then I respect that. But what can we say? It was that his road wins, that's what we're using. He can't win on the road. Well, you got to play at least 8 on the road. So you're telling me that he's 3-4. And that's not about 50%. Who doesn't play better at home? Aaron Rodgers plays phenomenal at home. But he's outside, so, he's also conditioned to play outside. The Detroit Lions are a dome team. And if I'm not mistaken, the LA Rams didn't they play outdoors? But it was LA. So it was LA. It was like playing inside, right? Before they moved to SoFi, did they not play outdoors? D. Reese says, all I'm saying is I'm not 100% sold on Goff, but I'm in line waiting to see if he can do what Stafford couldn't with what he was given playoff wins. Okay, D. Reese. This segment, I wanted to go over 10 minutes, but I got a question for you, D. Reese. I know how you feel. You've been very vocal about it respectfully, right? Vocal about Jared Goff. What does Jared Goff have to do for you to be sold on Jared Goff? And this is not just D. Reese. This is anybody else in the chat. This team was 1-6. We can't even control our own destiny, so we need the Seattle Seahawks. So if the Detroit Lions miss out on a playoff spot, I'm assuming that some of you, I'm not talking about anybody specifically in this chat, some of you will go back to the pick six, the 2 pick sixes that led to touchdowns that wind up being the difference in the game. So Jared Goff needs to win a playoff game for it to happen. I don't understand what it is that y'all don't see. Solo, it's been about 6 or 7. He has 1 turnover in the last 6 or 7 games. And that turnover was a fumbled exchange that unfortunately has to go on him. So he's not turnover free. Okay, Antoine says, win. Okay, win what though? Jared Goff has been part of a team that, okay, let me ask y'all a question, because I'm going to wrap this segment up because it could go on forever. But let me ask you a question. This team right now, right? Did we think that these guys, a bunch of ragtag guys, were going to potentially win 9 games? We had, when Matthew Stafford was here, right? So some of us want to say that Matthew Stafford is a superior quarterback, or let's put him at 28. Matthew Stafford was a superior quarterback. Okay. He had Kenny Galladay balling out of his mind. Let's not forget that Stafford had guys as well. Stafford played with Calvin Johnson, right? So why is it that we're able to put the team on Matthew for Matthew Stafford, we put it on the team. For Jared Goff, we put it on him. When arguably we can pick a lot of those years and say that that team was better, physically more gifted than the team that Jared Goff has had for the past 2 years. Nobody thought Deshaun Elliott was going to do anything. James Houston was going to do anything. Alex Anzalone. So for Matthew Stafford, it's okay. He needed a team. He went and got one. For Jared Goff, it's all on him. So for those of you listening on playback, your feelings on, look, this isn't this is coming from NFL Game Day. Jared Goff, a top 10 quarterback. That means they got him at number 8. That means he is top 25%. He's in the top 25% in the league. Now, Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson have been excluded. It's in the fine print on the bottom due to injury. Right? You could probably, now, y'all know me. I am not a fan of Lamar Jackson at all. I am not a fan of him. That's just not my type of QB. So the question that I have for you, and I'm going to tell you what, if Jared Goff beats the Green Bay Packers, him and his team, and we still miss out on the playoffs, when any other year 9-8 would have been good enough, then I want some of you to reconsider your thought on Jared Goff. Right? He might not even make the playoffs because of a head-to-head. I just don't understand, but we'll see. But as the segment wraps up, I truly do not believe that the Detroit Lions are going to take a quarterback anywhere in the top half of the draft. 100%. Jared Goff is here for 2 years. Believe that. Will he restructure? We have yet to see. Will they trade him? I sincerely doubt it, because I promise you this. The Washington Commanders, who are playing tic-tac quarterback over there, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, the Indianapolis Colts, that they would trade, I guarantee you that they would take a Jared Goff as quick as y'all ready to let him go. Let me know what you think. Good, I remembered to put it over. No, Salty is saying that the playoffs have been his goalposts. Okay, fine. That's perfectly fine. If that's been your goalpost from day one, fine. And anybody else. Kyler Murray can't even beat the Detroit Lions. Kyler Murray is winless against the Detroit Lions. Salty says, I don't care if my quarterback throws 10 yards if we're in the playoffs. No, Salty. If I understood you correctly, you said win a playoff game, right? Right? And Lamar Jackson has how many wins in the playoffs? Because I know one of y'all know off the top of the head. I know one of y'all know. How many playoff wins does Lamar Jackson have? But listen. If y'all haven't heard the show, I want you to go back. I want you to go back and listen to it. D. Reese says, if Goff can win a playoff game here in Detroit, I'll back him. We ain't won a playoff game since before I was born. Well, D. Reese, you're making your boy feel old, bro. You're making your boy feel old, because when the last time we won a playoff game, I was in middle school. How about that? He says he has a couple. Okay. All right. I know he has at least one. Kamek says I was. Well, D. Reese, I am 43, bro. I'm on my way to 44, so I'm getting old, bro. Got a 13-year-old son, like he's officially a teenager, and yeah. But go back and listen to the show, man. Listen to the show. We talked about Mars Head, Mars Big. What is his name? Big Head Mars Attack. Aaron Rodgers. We talked about Deshaun Elliott, how he felt in some type of way about that. I thank the Detroit Lions for giving me something to cheer for. Oh, you been here no, I wasn't talking about you, D. Reese, just anybody else who just got here. Options on drafting a QB. Do we need somebody to back up Jared Goff? Absolutely. If that's a draft pick, as long as it is the right guy, probably in the third round. Remember, y'all, we have no fourth round pick. We have no seventh round pick. We do have 8 picks in total. We have nothing in the fourth and nothing in the seventh. Ashley says Lamar has one playoff win. He has one playoff win. I think we should draft a QB if Goff goes down in the playoff game, since game season is over at that point. Oh yeah. That's true. Patty says I graduated when they won the playoffs. Holy, yeah. Hey, Salty out. Look, I'm with you. You know what? I don't think so, Rob. Rob says in the third you'll get a dud. You'll probably get a dud. I don't know. Russell Wilson was a third round quarterback, right? I mean, every quarterback, Desmond Ridder, third round, Malik Willis, his upside, third round. We don't need somebody coming out here balling right away, right? We don't need a baller. We need somebody we can groom. Salty says, I hope I'm getting old. Well, I'll tell you what. You're what they say, you're only as old as you feel. That's not entirely true. You also are old. I'm walking up the stairs and my right knee said, I'm glad that pole was right there. One thing about sometimes, man, your mind don't catch up to your body. Your mind is super young. You're like, yeah, man. And your body said, All right, so we got one more segment. I'm sorry, y'all. Then I'll wrap it up. I almost forgot about this segment, but I got to get it done. But listen, again, thank you for giving me the biggest video I have ever had. The one-man rush. That video has over 330,000 views. It has also brought the most idiotic people out of the crevices of YouTube. But man, it is the absolute best video I have ever done. And I appreciate that. Appreciate it so much. It just wouldn't stop. It's been getting thousands of views per hour, and I released it on Monday. So I just want to say thank you, because that is a feat that I thought I would never in my life see. Unbelievable. I don't care what people did outside of Lions jerseys. Okay, so let's do this. Because I can tell you right now, this is about to make me mad. You know what? Am I on camera here? Can I add the camera? Because y'all might see me. Okay, I can. All right, let me do this real quick, y'all. Because I want to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Give me 1 second. All right, we might as well kill one. What is it? 1 bird. 1 bird, 2 stones. 2 stones. I done forgot, bro. When you get sick, man, you don't remember nothing. You don't remember nada. All right, let me make sure you can see everything. All right, let's do this, because I need. Hold on, my son is texting me. Okay. All right. So bear with me, guys, as I make a video for Detroit Lions Syndicate. I am going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Man, I am blasted, though, I'll tell you that. All right, so here we go. Let me do this. All right, hold on. You gotta be able to do it all. All right, here we go. Ooh-wee. This about to make me mad, dog. This about to make me mad. All right, hold on. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Detroit Lions Syndicate. I have been sick all week long, and I have been unable really to get in front of the camera. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort to get in front of the camera. So I'm doing it right now, though. I'm actually on the other channel, Syndicate Sports Detroit. For those of you who don't know what that is, we go live over there every day. And I wanted to go over the Week 18 preview, game 272 for your Detroit Lions. This is the last game of the NFL season, of the entire season, and it's our first primetime game of the year. We are the only team to not have a primetime game. No Thanksgiving does not count. So with that being said, we are going to give a preview or my thought. I've been doing this every single week, and even though these are not viewed that much, I want to keep the tradition alive. So this is the Week 18 preview for the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. First and foremost, I got it blown up. Y'all can see it, right? 64% for the Green Bay Packers, who are on a 3-game winning streak, I believe. But come on, man. Really? Okay. I know they're at home. I know blah, blah, blah. Aaron Rodgers, bad man. And I've said to you, I called this at the beginning of the winning streak for the Green Bay Packers, that you did not want to see Green Bay once they lost to the Miami, or they beat the Miami Dolphins. I told you what we were going to have. So put some respect on my name, because it's long overdue. All right. So 64% to 34% for the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Jared Goff has eclipsed the 4,000-yard mark, and Aaron Rodgers does not throw a ton. Early on, his receivers were dropping the ball. He does rely a lot on Jones and Dillon to carry the load, pun intended. Jamal Williams is going to eclipse 1,000 yards, and he needs 2 touchdowns to break Barry Sanders' rushing touchdown record for the Detroit Lions. So expect the Detroit Lions to rely on a very heavy running game to make sure Jamal gets it. I believe he has an incentive as well somewhere along his contract as well. And also, he has expressed his want to come back for the future. So hopefully Brad will take care of that. I love what he said yesterday. I like to talk about my business. Aaron Jones, 201 carries, over 1,000 yards, but only 2 touchdowns. When you see the discrepancy, you really appreciate Jamal's touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 100 receptions, over 1,112 yards to Lazard. That is his leading receiver with 56 receptions for 747 yards. Now we're going to go down now to what I believe is the biggest probably injury update, is that Deshaun Elliott, our safety, is probably going to play, and that is huge. Now, it looks like Jeff Okudah might be out for the Detroit Lions. He has a new injury to his elbow. We don't know what the status is just yet. We'll learn about that more Saturday before the game, which is tomorrow. When it comes to, the Green Bay Packers are probably the healthiest they've been. DeGuara is the only guy that's questionable according to ESPN. You can go deeper, but we're not going to do that today. Points per game. The Detroit Lions score more than the Green Bay Packers. Points allowed, they allow more at 25 to 21. Total yards, they get more than the Green Bay Packers. Yards passing, they have more. Yards rushing, they have more. Yards allowed, they allow more. When it comes to the pass yards allowed, Green Bay only allows 208, and they allow 141 rushing. So we're not going to go over every stat. So on paper, the Detroit Lions should beat the Green Bay Packers, but we know that it's not just about the stats when it comes to not only football, but this team in particular. I truly believe that Aaron Rodgers is part of that. His Lambeau Field is like the fortress of solitude, and he gets the more he plays, the colder it gets. I do believe he gets stronger because his head begins to swell more than probably any other quarterback in the league. The Detroit Lions, both teams are 4-1. The Detroit Lions are coming off a one-game winning streak after winning 3 before losing to the Carolina Panthers. If you take that away, that would be 5 games. And the Green Bay Packers have won 4 games in a row. But here's what I want you to see. And I know you can't. Let me see so you can see it for the Detroit Lions. What do you see? You take away Lambeau Field. You take away Aaron Rodgers. You put in Jordan Love. Right? It's a different type of vibe. But what do you see with this? I'm going to try to move over where you can see the win and losses. What do you see between the two teams? You lost to a good team. You beat a bad one. You beat a team that was falling off, and you beat You stomped on the Minnesota Vikings. We beat them as well. So are they as good as everybody's saying they are? If you go to our team, okay, we beat a bad team. We beat a team that was good, considered good at the time or decent. We beat a team, the same team that you beat. And we stomped the team that is now playing to make the playoffs in Week 18. So for me, what do you see? You see that in my opinion, the Detroit Lions are the better team. And it's not a bias thing. It's what I see. I see that the Detroit Lions are a better team. But again, we have to worry about Aaron Rodgers. And he plays like no other quarterback at home. He's starting to feel himself. So that could wind up being bad news for the Detroit Lions. So what do I think? I think the Detroit Lions are going to win this game for a number of reasons. One, I think they're going to win the game because of the fact that they like the taste of winning. They got a lot riding on this game, as do the Green Bay Packers. Also, the bulletin board material that Aaron Rodgers has provided us, the fact that we have not had a primetime game. What do we have to do to win? We have to keep Aaron Rodgers in the pocket. We've got to pressure him. We also have to stop Aaron Jones and Dillon. If they go off, it is over. I'm not really worried about his receivers as much as I am him getting out of the pocket and also A.J. Dillon, right? We stopped both of them last time. Aaron Jones went out in that game. We don't know what's going to happen this time. The Lions can win this game. What in our side, again, Jared Goff has to turn the ball up, can't turn the ball over. We also have to have the running game has to get going. It was stale for 3 weeks. It came alive last week. We have to run this team to the ground. If we get ahead, here's what I believe. I believe if we get ahead 2, 3 scores, even 10, 14 points, Aaron Rodgers will begin to pass more. He'll have to rely on Randall Cobb and Christian Watson, okay? If we can get, and then that will allow us to pressure him. We cannot let him scramble like he did last time we played. So the Detroit Lions, in my opinion, will win this game. Will we go to the playoffs or not? That is not up to us. We have to see what Seattle will know, what Seattle has done before we take the field. I think the Detroit Lions are going to win this game, go to 9-8 to end the season. And good or bad, win or loss, what a season it's been. And it's been a crazy ride and a pleasure for me to, in my first full real season on Detroit Lions Syndicate, for me to deliver this stuff to you. So I appreciate it. And hopefully this is not the end of our season, but let me know what you think in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions. All right, we are back, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And, man, whew, I am tired. That was tough for me to do because it's been tough for me to make videos. And you got to look on camera. I got the lights on, give you a headache after a while. So we made it through, man. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody. Listen, this is it, right? This is it. And we will be live. We're going to go live on Sunday night. You guys have asked that the phone lines will be open, so I'll open them up. Whether you call or not, that is up to you. Hopefully, y'all, this is not the end of our season. I'm not ready for this season to be over. I'm not. It's been a ride, man, and I don't, even though football is not over, I don't want our season to end. I just don't. At least like this. If it ends, let us make the playoffs. Let us exceed expectations, get that W, man, and go from there. So with that being said, man, appreciate y'all. I don't know what y'all talking about in the comment section, but it seems like y'all battling it out. And for those of you who care, don't forget about David Pike. I'm sure he's going to want to give you his 2 cents as well. I know a lot of people how you feel about him, but that's neither here nor there. If you do care and enjoy his content, he will be doing New Era Detroit Lions tomorrow at 6 p.m. So I'm sure some of you would like to hear what he has to say before we play what could be our last game of the 2022 season. So get ready for a wild Sunday. Make sure you guys are here on, man, all my channels. And I appreciate y'all's support, man. I will be on camera next year. I got to get some lighting, a desk and stuff like that. And the plan is really, really, really to give y'all quality content from somebody that's not mainstream. You know what I mean? I will never be mainstream. And another thing I will never do, I will never, ever, 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 be I won't even say. I saw something today that came in my feed. It was disgusting. I didn't understand why this person had somebody on their channel that has nothing to do with the Detroit Lions. But then I remembered that they like clout, that is what they like. They thrive off it. They desire it. They long for it. And you have somebody on your channel who has zero to do with the Detroit Lions. It was disgusting to me and a disgrace. But that's the kind of person he is. I will talk to you guys later. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself. And as always, go Lions.